Lil Jeff started out like any other kid from the South Side, just trying to find his way, but fast he turned into one of the city's most feared young steppers. His name carried weight in hoods he didn't even claim. This wasn't about fame or record deals, it was about a street soldier who flipped the drill script, caught bodies, and didn't hide it. In one of his tracks, he even bragged about killing 2 teenagers, turning that double murder into a hood anthem. After that, younger kids started looking up to him, copying the way he moved. But how did he get there? Jeffrey Lamar Harris Jr. wasn't always the face you'd see in Bloodhound or Drill City videos. He grew up on the South Side like a lot of kids' regular boy hoop dreams, chasing AAU tournaments in 10th grade. There's still old footage of him in games and Facebook photos showing a normal kid before the streets came calling. Back then, he wasn't plotting moves or carrying weight, he was just thinking about basketball friends and life after school. That changed when he didn't make varsity. The drill forums clown him for it. But truth is, it hit him harder than most people knew. That was the crack in the door. Family played a big role too. His older brother, Jay Boogie, was connected to Chris World 079 and the Bloodhounds. Most posts and interviews point to Boogie as the one who pulled Jeff off the porch. Boogie had his own battles though. He caught a case in 2020, got 7 to 8 years spent time appealing, and according to later reports finally came home in 2025. While Jeff started spending more time in the streets, he was still young, mostly learning from the older guys and soaking up the game. But everything changed when his cousin Zoni died, marking the fall of the 0679 Alliance. Zoni wasn't just a rapper. He was a respected Bloodhound 079 member. On March 16, 2023, he was cornered in a parking lot near 79th, and Kai Mark shot over 29 times. At just 22, he died before help could even reach him. His death ended the decade-long 0679 Alliance before things fell apart. Bloodhound and Trap City had moved as one, united by mutual respect and shared enemies. Even Zed Money was riding with the Bloodhounds. Fans on Churicology started buzzing after word spread that Lil Jeff snatched a chain. The story goes that Jeff took Trap City Carter's chain, and soon after Trap City hit back hard. Some say that stolen chain was the spark that set everything off, but the real fire was the same old formula. Street politics and bodies dropped for clout. Z-Money's death wasn't some random shootout. It was a planned ambush in a parking lot at Avalon Park. On Reddit, fans explained it like this: Jeff stealing a chain from someone he was once cool with destroyed multiple lives. The robbery was seen as pure violation, and even though Z himself never touched the chain, he paid the price for it. Why? Because he was Bloodhound. Because he was Lil Jeff and Q50's cousin. But none of that mattered to Trap City once the disrespect was locked in. They marked him anyway. One fan summed it up perfectly. Crazy how he got killed wearing the chain of the dude whose beef started from that exact situation. Streets are wicked. In the streets, facts don't matter, only image and respect do. And when someone in your camp disrespects, you can end up in the crosshairs too. After Z was killed, Jeff turned up the pressure both in music and in the field. One post explained his mindset. The reason Jeff went crazy? His cousin got killed by people he thought were cool with him. That's betrayal. It felt personal. A betrayal carried out by people they once trusted under the same alliance. That's what shattered the 679 bond. On March 16th around 2 p.m., Trap City made their move. Z-Money was sitting in his car at 79th and Kimbark. When another car pulled up, gunmen jumped out armed heavy and let off over 29 shots. He died instantly. No arrests followed. Lil Cap from Trap City wasted. No time claiming the hit online. And just like that, the 0679 Alliance was finished. Zoni's death didn't just end a bond, it sparked 2 straight years of non-stop bloodshed. And for Lil Jeff, once his cousin Zoni was gone, there was zero chance he was going to let it slide. People close to him said the moment he heard the news, he was already plotting his next move. Lil Jeff was already thinking about how to get his lick back. On June 25th, 2023, around 9 p.m., 19-year-old Jelly Allowance Better, known on the streets as Lal from Trap City, was sitting in the back seat of a Lyft near 1300 West Taylor Street on Chicago's west side. Out of nowhere, a gunman walked up to the car and shot Lal at least 7 times. Lyft driver panicked, hit the gas, and tried to escape as bullets chased them for nearly 2 city blocks. Somehow, the driver pushed through the chaos and made it to Rush University Medical Center. But it was too late. Lal was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. There were no arrests, no official suspects, but in the streets there was no question who was behind it. Everyone pointed to Bloodhound 079 and especially to Lil Jeff. This was seen as the direct retaliation for Zoni's murder. First public act of get back a message that the war had officially started. But Jeff's payback wasn't just about pulling the trigger, it was also about psychological warfare. Later that summer, a video dropped online that shook the city. In the clip, Lil Jeff stood face to face with Big Motion, a known Trap City member under heavy pressure. Big Motion looked straight at the camera and said something almost unthinkable. Fou da lao, disrespecting his own homie gone just weeks earlier.
I didn't see it. I see him fuck him.
What cool?
Bloodhound celebrated the footage like it was a trophy. For Trap City, it was one of the deepest forms of disrespect you could imagine. This wasn't rap beef. This wasn't subliminal disses. This was real-life humiliation. Proof that Jeff's war wasn't just about gunplay. It was about breaking his enemies mentally before and after the shots were fired. It all went back to that chain. The one Jeff snatched months earlier sparked Zony's death. Zony's death led to Lal's. And even after that, Jeff was still online posting, making music, and taunting his enemies. After Lal's body dropped, Trap City grew noticeably quieter, while Bloodhound 079 only turned up the pressure. This wasn't just crews clashing anymore. This was betrayal turned personal. 2 bodies were already down. The next slide could come from anywhere. Jeff didn't slow down. Zony had died over a chain he took. La'al was targeted as payback for Zony. Then came Monty and Lil Rob, 2 young hitters, who were once close to Jeff, but allegedly crossed the line by robbing him. According to street chatter and Reddit threads, the 2 snatched several of Jeff's flashy watches and flaunted them online. That was enough to put targets on their backs. Monty and Lil Rob weren't known for music, but were active in block politics. Both had Bloodhound and Drill City ties and were often seen downtown. On January 26, 2024, at exactly 12:26 p.m. during lunch break at Innovations High School, the 2 were standing outside near Washington and Wabash in the heart of Chicago's Loop. That's when 2 vehicles, a dark sedan and an Infiniti SUV, rolled up. From the SUV, 3 Bloodhound 079 members, T-Slick, Lil Jeff, and J.O. jumped out armed in broad daylight. They let off a barrage of gunfire that lasted about 15 seconds. Monty and Lil Rob were hit multiple times and killed instantly. The scene exploded into chaos. Students screamed and ran in every direction as sirens closed in. The shooters fled back into the SUV and disappeared, reportedly heading toward the Calumet City suburbs. For almost a year, the case stayed unsolved, but in January 2025, police finally made their move. T-Slick was the first to be arrested. 4 days later, on February 4th, J-Mo was picked up after being identified as a student who had left school about 90 minutes before the attack, tying him to the setup. Scooped up on January 29th, 2025, just over a year after Monty and Lil Rob were laid out. Police slapped him with 2 counts of first degree, 1 count of attempted first degree, plus a stack of for most in the city. It felt inevitable. Them did what they did and had to pay the consequence. And that bar had the whole city tying it to Monty and Rob, but it didn't stop there. When I speak, it's only facts. He was screaming "ah" when he got hit. That hook alone turned a double into a meme, with fans screaming it while 2 families were still grieving. But the real giveaway was in the second verse. Jeff said, "Real tough up on the net. Now he on the floor looking like a just walked in lids for 2 hats, really stepping on blood. Know how it get everyone caught the meaning? Lids sells hats. 2 hats meant 2 bodies. And stepping on blood, that wasn't just a drill metaphor. It was a street claim. Jeff spelled it out without ever dropping names. The streets understood, so did CPD. The catch? Slick wasn't the voice on the track, but he's the one wearing the charges. Jeff made the song, did the flex, and ran up the views. Now Slick's left, holding the bag facing the sentence for the same his guy rapped about like a punchline. When it happened, the hit made it clear Bloodhound had taken the war directly into a school zone, and it was only a matter of time before their ops retaliated. The of Lil Jeff right. When it seemed like nothing could touch Lil Jeff, the streets flipped the script. On June 8th, 2024, Jeff made the mistake of pulling up in Trap City's hood. That's where he spotted Trap City. Glenn, the one wearing yellow shorts who bolted straight into a house, Jeff chased him up the porch, the front door still swinging. But before he could get inside Trap City, Rob was already set. He pulled his piece and let it rip.
Word started buzzing out of Chicago's east side. Fired near 66th and Rhodes.
A man had been hit at least a dozen times in broad daylight. Minutes later, grainy videos began circulating. A body lying in the street, pooling fast, sirens wailing in the background. The footage wasn't verified, but the streets didn't need confirmation. The whispers all said the same thing. Bloodhound Lil Jeff was gone. Jeff was never a mainstream name. No chart placements, no major label cosigns, but in drills underground and among the city's most feared steppers, his name carried real weight, not for punchlines, but for bodies. By 21, he was the centerpiece of more than a dozen street rumors linking him to in Chicago and Milwaukee. Many suspected to be paid hits. He was Bloodhound, the 079 part of a set, feared for real pressure, not just rap beef, and his life ended exactly how many believed it would. Out in the open in his own city, just like the targets he allegedly hunted. Witnesses say it went down near a Hyundai Santa Fe with over 45 shell casings littering the ground. This wasn't a warning, it was a full execution. Jeff took between 12 and 15 rounds, most hitting his chest and upper body. No suspects were caught, no arrests followed. Tributes from Chicago. Artists began pouring in within hours. Drill pages lit up. Those who had worked with Jeff could feel the shift. Lil Scoom posted, "Long live Jeff." AMF Visuals dropped a broken heart over Jeff's photo. The pain was real, but in this game, pain doesn't stop the cycle. Jeff's didn't just rock the scene, it closed a bloody chapter in an ongoing war. One of the city's youngest alleged hitters, feared in Chicago, used by Milwaukee, was gone before he could see 22, his rumored body count, his alleged paid hits, and the fear his name carried. All of it ended in a pool of on. South Roads police still haven't confirmed the ID, but the streets already wrote his obituary, and if the rumors about Jeff were true, someone had just collected on a long-standing debt. That same night, Milwaukee-linked pages started posting cryptic captions, dates, and references, only understood by those deep in the loop. One of those dates matched a Milwaukee hit that had caused shockwaves, feeding speculation that Jeff had slid for cash and in the process built enemies in both cities. The coded language hinted at deep-seated resentment, the kind that puts a price on your head. Jeff never admitted anything on record, but his image told its own story. He carried himself like someone who knew retaliation was inevitable, like a man aware. His name came with weight heavy enough to crush him. His tone in interviews, the way he described public run-ins, it all pointed to a reputation stretching beyond Chicago. By then, Milwaukee knew him too. Jeff's story is dangerous because of what it represents, how easily a local feud can turn into an interstate operation. Milwaukee figured out it could bankroll violence without getting its own involved, and Chicago provided the muscle. Once the work was done, the hitters simply crossed the state line like nothing ever happened. Defensive Player of the Year after Lil Jeff's. The internet lit up like a war zone. Trap City K became the go-to phrase in Jeff's comment section, with people joking about renaming the block Trap Cemetery on drill. Page's fans even said they got a smile seeing ports come out of Trap City's area. According to Reddit threads, Rob had already been picked up multiple times at the same house where Jeff was allegedly from the porch. Word moved fast. Within days post, claimed Rob was wanted and laying low. A June 16th local news piece confirmed police were still looking for a Jeff's case. When Rob finally spoke on the rumors, he aimed straight at the Bloodhound story. He said they'd been pushing a false narrative, that Trap City had backdoored Zed money. Rob called that pure cap. His version, a Bloodhound member stole a chain from someone in Trap City, showed it off like it was a Savage trophy, then spun the story by claiming Trap City lined up Zoni.
Got you, okay.
We ain't never see it. Ain't nobody ever see this man face and know none of that shit, gang. Like, that, like, I don't know how they did what they did, but it ain't one of them.
Okay, because the way Reddit, this is what I want to clear up too. They say his dad from down here, Big J or some shit like that.
Everybody
Big J.
From down here. Anybody you got?
Also, his daddy is from down here.
Yeah, fuck used to hang with them. They know what they did.
So, okay.
They know what they did.
So, okay, the Bloodhounds, yeah, y'all was cool.
Everybody that got a
that was my homie.
He stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my homie chain.
Was that South J or some shit?
Nah, brother.
One of the other guys.
This one of the other. This other one.
Folks letting him wear the J. He come back like he got into a high school. He was 12. Line saying he lost it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's how motherfuckers broke their little shit. You know, motherfuckers fucking with them. You know?
Yeah.
Ain't hard to that little
That was,
love.
that was my
Ain't hard,
dog. Like, that's my crowd. Like, we every day, no, that's for them. Like, I was locked in, so I
These
ain't.
little boys weird. They got confused, man.
You know what's going
Put
on.
that shit together, bro.
Gotta ride with the block. It's my block. Damn.
You do some fluky shit to snake somebody from the hood, gang.
For sure.
Get scarred from this shit.
Around what year was that? How long ago that was?
Like
2 years
2 years ago.
Damn. So it was never really no real bloodshed. It was just about some Jake.
Rob said Zony's 2023 wasn't a setup. There was no plotting or luring him in, just street drama that Bloodhound twisted to fit their version, but the chain theft was the real start. And once that went down, things got ugly quick. Bloodhound followed, up with the trap. City Layal Lal wasn't a bystander. He was part of the inner circle. He got hit while sitting in a lift, and the word was, it was payback for Zony. That turned the whole thing personal. Now it wasn't just talk, it was for blood, instead of letting it cool. Bloodhound doubled down, sliding through Trap City's zone, going live, posting up, trying to make it look like Trap City couldn't defend their own porch. But that porch wasn't soft. Rob started breaking it down in his own timeline. First, they stole from his crew. Then they lied about why. Then they took one of his people. Then they rolled into his hood like it was sweet to him. That wasn't just disrespect. That was suicide. Rob wasn't only active in the streets. He had music out. Once Reddit pinned him as the possible, his old track. What a feeling from July 2020 suddenly blew up. YouTube comments poured in. One person wrote, Jeff came to deliver the mail, and Unc returned it to sender, trolling the fact that Rob's older, and probably from the generation above Jeff. Another said Big Unc never hopped off the porch. He was camping on it. Fans started calling him Defensive Player of the Year and pushing slogans like, protect the porch at all costs. Under all the trolling, some respect started to grow. People quoted his bar, take care of them children by a couple buildings, and said it felt like wisdom compared to Jeff's demonic energy. If you like this video, click on a video on either side to watch a video similar to this.